This is the Travel and Tourism Show on Star FM.
Good evening and welcome to the Travel and Tourism Show. I'm Mazwi Shamu. Welcome to the month of September. Hashtag Gunyana Groove here on Star FM, sounding good all the time. Thank you so much for tuning into the show and the previous shows, and thank you for all your feedback. We've talked about where to go and what to do in our previous shows, and today we want to talk about how to go to these particular places. I'm privileged to have in the studio tonight Rachel Manyeza, who is a marketing and communications officer for a company known as Hwindi. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mazwi. Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Tell us, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in the tourism industry?
All right. I'll explain in brief about Hwindi and its concept. So essentially, Hwindi is a state-of-the-art mobile application, like mobile app, for hailing a taxi and couriers that we have introduced in the streets of Zimbabwe. Hwindi App is mainly a software for booking taxi services, although we have included the delivery and other services which are also coming soon. So Hwindi provides that link between the tourist or the traveler or passenger and a reliable taxi in a modern way with the key motto STAERA, which stands for safety, technology, affordability, efficiency, reliability and accountability. The convenience of Hwindi is on hailing a taxi or delivery vehicle, which is safe and reliable and also affordable, and most of all closest to the pickup location. So currently taxi passengers either call their usual taxi drivers on their mobile numbers or get into the nearest taxi. And the challenge with the prevailing current methods of getting a taxi is either that the usual taxi driver is far off, that is provided his phone is even reachable, from the potential passenger, or the passengers are getting into an unfamiliar and probably unregistered taxi, which is compromising their safety. So that's basically the whole concept about Hwindi.
I find that so interesting. So you're telling me that with an app, I can get a number of different taxis, or I can get taxis from point A to point B just by going through this app?
Yes, absolutely. So we're saying we've got 3 platforms. We have the Premier, and then we also have the cab, and then we also have the van. So the Premier is for those who want to travel in an executive vehicle, which is a Mercedes-Benz or similar. And then a cab platform is for any other smaller vehicles, the usual taxis. And then the van is a minivan for those who want to travel in groups. So wherever you are, once you've downloaded the Hwindi app, use it to simply hail a taxi or otherwise use WhatsApp numbers to send a message that you need a taxi.
Nice. Very nice. It sounds to me that it's bringing back structure in a chaotic transportation system that currently exists in Zimbabwe. Tell me, why taxis? How did you think of taxis? Why not buses? Why not, I don't know, why not charter planes or something like that? Why taxis?
Well, of course, charter planes would be way expensive. But with taxis, we are very passionate about our country and serving Zimbabweans. And so with taxis, we're more involved with the passenger themselves. They get to give you feedback there and there, whether they're pleased with the service or not. They get to discuss with you current affairs or anything about our country. So basically, we are passionate about offering that kind of service to Zimbabweans, and we are also more about safety. We also know that here in Africa or in Zimbabwe, there's very little awareness regarding drunken driving, and so a lot of accidents are happening on our roads due to drunk driving or basically poor driving habits. But if we're able to have our taxi services in a systematic, organized manner, we can save lives. We can also have a more functional road system and transportation system in our country.
So my next question to you, actually, which you've partly answered there, is that how is this an important facet within the tourism industry? And I know you've mentioned safety. Safety is key.
Exactly. Yes. You will realize that taxis, or basically taxi drivers, are the actual face of Zimbabwe, in that they are the first point of contact when it comes to the tourists, be it they're coming in through buses, coming into the country using aeroplanes, trains if they used to be. They will be the first point of contact. And so if we're able to conscientize the taxi drivers on professional conduct, the Ubuntu in nature we have as Zimbabweans, that being a platform to be able to communicate with the tourists, show them how hospitable Zimbabweans are, and also generally safety. We can increase more tourists, I hope, from the statistics that will generate from this platform as we go. So I think it will definitely assist in the tourism sector.
You've made a very valid point there, Rachel. And it's true. Taxi drivers and transport drivers are the first point of contact, and they can make or break your holiday. Because if you land in Zimbabwe and they say, oh, Zimbabwe at the moment is terrible.
Exactly.
Everything you see is going to be terrible. You're going to be associating it with the first person that you came across. And if they say, oh, Zimbabwe is the place to be at the moment, so it will be.
Exactly.
So
And just to add on to that, we also do train our drivers on professional conduct. Things like opening the door for the passenger and not engaging much into too much conversation with the client, because we do not want to either upset the tourist or otherwise annoy them by too much chit-chat. Also, we want our drivers to concentrate on the road, but we do teach them on grooming and etiquette, so they can make sure otherwise their vehicles are always clean, themselves are also always clean. It also just assists in the general outlook and perspective of the tourists about our country.
Nice. How long have you been on the market? When did you start? Or when did this app start?
All right. With Hwindi, we can safely say we started or launched in March 2018 successfully. Previously, the other mobile application platforms were not favorable. So it had been started a few years back, but the application was not yet fully functional. So some technology upgrades were done, and now it's functioning well. We are still going to add a few more functions so it can be more user-friendly as technology advances.
So people who follow the show, several months back, we had a show with Nyasha Madzima, and he was talking about advancements in technology within the travel and tourism industry. And these are some of the things that he had actually been referring to, some of the technology that is being developed that can help the travel and tourism industry. Who is your market, Rachel?
Right, that is a very good question, and I'd like to clarify that because I'm sure a lot of our passengers may have the wrong perception. Basically, what happened with Hwindi is we started off with the executive vehicles when it was launched, with the Mercs and the executive vehicles, the minivans. We first of all just wanted people to be aware of the product, aware of the convenience, the safety, the technology. And so from there, we are now going to include some agents, which is from any existing taxi company, to join the app as an agent, and then have everyone be able to access a taxi from the closest point wherever they are from now on. So basically our market is everyone and anyone.
What challenges have you faced, and how have you dealt with these? I mean, we've got mshika-shikas out there, and that is the cheapest, most convenient form of transportation. I go outside the road, I can get it for a quarter of the price maybe that a taxi would offer me. How have you dealt with these sort of things?
Well, I will agree with you that yes, sometimes there is a certain convenience with mshika-shikas, but also on another level, they can also be dangerous. But I hope that the city fathers are working on that so that they can come up with a proper system that works as well, because I'm sure there are a lot more people benefiting from mshika-shikas, and then there are also clientele who would prefer having a taxi and ride on their own in a vehicle. So some of the challenges we've had are basically people not understanding our concept. People thinking that maybe it's only for the elite, but it's actually for every commuter or every traveler. And then we are now engaging with the Mshika owners so that if they actually want to have their vehicles on the platform, their drivers will be able to download the app, and we vet them, we train them, and after vigorous training and 100% transformation, they can be added onto the platform.
We are Star FM, sounding good all the time. I'm Mazwi Shamu. This is the Travel and Tourism Show, and I'm speaking to Rachel Manyeza, who is the Marketing and Communications Officer for Hwindi App. Rachel, are you a part of any associations as a transportation body? And if you are, associations such as ZCT, Zimbabwe Council for Tourism, or ZTA?
At the present moment, we are still not officially any member of these organizations. Like I mentioned, we officially launched in March, and the concept was to get the word out there first using the executive vehicles. But we basically are an IT software company handling the mobile application, where we will then enroll other taxi providers as agents who will then train and groom and have a more efficient taxi service system.
Do you expect them, just on that, do you expect them to be part of various associations?
Yes, we do. It is actually mandatory, according to the Ministry of Transport, that they have certifications with them and there are relevant bodies. So we expect them, by all means, to have their papers in order.
So how do you market yourself?
Well, marketing in Zimbabwe is mainly through social media. It has actually gone viral for us with a lot of social media platforms. There's several groups and several pages who find our services very relevant, and so far it has really worked. But we will now be looking at the mass market as well. Like I said, we're enrolling the other taxi providers. So we are looking into other different mass marketing platforms to use so that everyone out there will know more about Hwindi.
Going forward, how do you intend to remain relevant in a destination at the moment that is lacking many systems and structures, be it in transportation and infrastructure, all of that? All
right. As I mentioned earlier again, we are mainly or essentially an IT software company. Yes, we want to have the opportunity to allow the transportation system to work more efficiently by being involved in the taxi providers and the way they do things. So in terms of going forward, we are hoping that in the new dispensation, things like the roads and spares and things like that will be, number one, the roads are being fixed. Number two, the spares for the motorists and the vehicle owners will become cheaper. Things will be better. But we will be more concerned about the technology side since we're more of an IT software company. So we are happy that at least the mobile operators are showing growth. And so for any upgrades and user-friendly platforms on the mobile app, we will be adding those from time to time.
We've run out of time again. But Rachel, thank you so much for coming to the show. There's so much that you've said, a lot that is loaded that we perhaps still need to unpack. So I hope you'll be able to come back to the show at some other time, at some point, and talk more about what Hwindi is all about and perhaps how you are faring.
Very true. And thank you so much for the opportunity to have come through. We would also like to hear a lot from our clients, how we're faring and what else they would look out for in terms of addition to service. So for you to be able to use our Hwindi app, please download from Google Store or Android, Apple Store, iOS-based devices. Download Hwindi and ride in style. Right. And for those who would like to contact us using WhatsApp or text messages or even phone call, feel free to contact us on our dispatch 24-hour service number 0775 494 634. I'll just repeat that again, 0775 494-634. Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have for you tonight. If you missed any of those details, you can go onto my Facebook page, Mazwi Shamu, and you can find the details and information of the Hwindi app there. Until next time, happy traveling.
Thank you for tuning in to the Travel and Tourism Show on Star FM.